Well, good evening and welcome to the All-A Classic semifinals here tonight at the Frankfort Convention Center. Gary Ball tonight with Greg Horn, and we're looking forward to this one tonight. It's the semifinals between the Eagles of Lexington Christian Academy, Nate Valentine's basketball team riding a crest, 17-6 right now. They're on a roll. Ronnie Don coaches Newport Central Catholic, Greg, and they're 17-3. Both ball clubs having terrific seasons. I think LCA's schedule has been a little bit better if you look at the strength of schedule because they played in that traditional Bank Classic, and there were so many talented teams in that with Trinity and Henderson County and Lexington Catholic and teams like that. I think that's gotten LCA ready for this game, and they got to forget about last year. They got to have amnesia about that because they were simply drubbed last year in this game.
I totally agree with you on that, Gary. I believe that one of the things that Coach Nate Valentine, his first year at LCA, he intentionally, as you said, made a really tough schedule before they got into district play. So when they got to games like this, and really the only game that I've seen most all of LCA's games this year, and I think the only game really that they've not really been in was Louisville Trinity, and I think you can say that about a lot of people this year, the number one ranked team in the state.
And they've got, of course, such a big basketball team, Trinity does, and NCC can be, you can say the same about them, Greg. They've got a big basketball team. You look at Drew McDonald, he's 6'7", 6'8", he's going to Northern Kentucky University. Ben Wire's a big kid, and the key to their team, though, is Mr. Pengallo, Zach Pengallo. You've got to slow him down tonight. He's so quick, and that's my concern. LCA's guards have got to really counter Zach Pengallo.
There's no doubt about that. I was able to talk to Jason Mays, who did the scouting report for LCA before tonight's game, and the number one thing he said is, guys, you've got to get back in transition because if not, it could be a long night for us.
And LCA, of course, Matt Rose is, everybody knows, you cover the LCA games. I've covered several LCA. I've covered Mr. Rose since he was an 8th grader over there, 9th grader. He's a talented player. He didn't have to prove it to us, but I think he's proven it to the rest of the state right now with the display he's putting on out here against good caliber basketball. And tonight he's going up against Newport Central Catholic, and one of his best buds is Drew McDonald, the big guy for Newport Central Catholic. They play AAU summer ball together.
They do. They sure do. And so I'm sure there's a little personal rivalry go against one another. But one of the things I really think is great, like you said, you talk about McDonald and Meyer for Newport Catholic, and then, of course, LCA is going to counter with Matt Rose and Drew Trimble. So you've got two big 6'8" guys on both teams, both really, really talented. And so I can't wait to get started. It should be a great game.
And you look at the LCA, I think tonight Matt Rose will have a good ball game. I think Drew Trimble will step up. He's been superb in this tournament so far. I think Benton Nybert needs to be knocking down some threes. He's capable of doing that, and I think he just needs to be consistent with that tonight. And I think Trey King, if he doesn't start, comes off that bench, I think he's got to deliver for the LCA Eagles too, to kind of send a message to Newport Central Catholic that this isn't the same LCA team you played last year.
Totally agree with you. Trey King obviously has struggled a lot with foul trouble. William and I talked about this yesterday, so really need him to do that. But one of the things I think LCA might have a small advantage in is in the bench. I think LCA's got some really good depth this year. I think that'll be really important. LCA and Newport Catholic actually have one common opponent, and that's Louisville Doss. LCA lost by 12 to them earlier in the year, and in the Clem Haskins Classic up in Taylor County, and then Newport Catholic lost to them January only by 3 points, 66-63. So one common opponent together, and both of them played them very close, so it should be a great game tonight.
LCA, as we said, is on a big-time winning streak, and the last time Newport Central Catholic lost was to Covington Catholic, their arch rival up there in Northern Kentucky. They lost by 10, but in that game, Zach Pengallo didn't play at all in the second half. So you get the straw that stirs your drink out in the second half, Zach Pengallo, you're going to have some troubles with the state's defending champions, the Colonels of Covington Catholic.
No doubt about it. And John Stein and Drew Shaw that you were talking about have really got to step up at the point guard position tonight.
And I've been impressed with Nate Valentine and the composure he's had and the way he's kept his basketball team even kill. And Matt Rose, and I've heard you and William on the broadcast this week talking about how you want Mr. Trimble to get a little meaner. And I think he has stepped it up a little bit. I think the message was received that I maybe need to get a little bit more aggressive out here because Drew Trimble, I think, has been a X factor in this tournament so far. I look for him to have a big game tonight, too.
Got to have it again. I believe he's had 4 games in a row with double-doubles. This All-A Classic has kind of been his coming-out party, and you're exactly right. Tonight they've got to have him. He's got to counter with Meyer as Matt Rose and McDonald go against one another.
And Newport Central Catholic, as we said, coached by Ron Don. He played his high school basketball there. He was on a regional championship team back in '74, his senior year. And Newport Central Catholic, there's always been a Pengallo, a Sanfus, a Zimmerman, a Wilfong. Those names are legendary up there in Newport Central Catholic. And Ronnie Don, an outstanding player, went on to play college basketball at Thomas More College as well. So very familiar with Ron Don. Nate Valentine, of course, at Trancey, out of Trancey, was an assistant coach there. He played for a high school buddy of mine, Steve Wright at South Laurel High School back in the day, and he's just done a great job in his first year. Kind of what the doctor ordered, so to speak, for LCA this year on the boys basketball side.
I really agree. One of the things he's tried to do is really put a culture in of mental toughness and discipline, and that's one of the things I think that LCA, they have fought back through some adversity in December, had a lot of preseason injuries, with Drew Trimble having an emergency appendectomy, then having a sprained ankle. John Stein had some back problems, and of course they lost Trevor Hill to the torn ACL against Dunbar. But man, they are clicking on all cylinders right now, and I think they're going to give Newport Catholic all they want tonight.
And I think Cal Road knows that he needs to step it up a little bit tonight too, maybe with some production, a little bit more points, a little bit more rebounding. The young man's a talent, and I think only being an 8th grader, sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle with the great players like Matt Rose, Drew Trimble and company, and Benton Nybert. But I think Cal Road will step up big tonight. We'll step out. We'll come back. It's the All-A Classic semifinal action. Lexington Christian and Newport Central Catholic will return here after this timeout.
The Kids Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide. If you have children, or if you have children among your family and friends, be sure to pick up this monthly magazine at local high-traffic parent areas, or you can view the entire book online at kykidsdirectory.com. The first issue was published in March 2001, so this year marks 14 years of bringing families and local businesses together.
Hey, are you a hardcore sports junkie? Let us help you get your sports fix each weekday afternoon with Sports Talk here on AM 1250 WLRT. Hi, I'm Greg Horn, host of Sports Talk, and I'm a sports junkie too. So I know what sports junkies need: the latest breaking sports news, scores, and interviews with local and national sports personalities. So join us for Sports Talk Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. here on AM 1250 WLRT.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's been my dream come true to be your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I view the people of Western Kentucky as our family. So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015. We will start the journey to make Kentucky proud again. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care. Bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all. That's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim Hill and Susan and Bill Nybert. Go Eagles.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Hey, great party. Oh, thanks. Here you go. One hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Choosing a college is a major decision.
So why did I choose WKU?
Because at WKU, professors are experts in their field.
I'm encouraged to study abroad.
And make the whole world my classroom.
And where I get real-world experience. Doing exactly what I want to do. And where I have all the tools I need to prepare for a successful future.
It's all within my reach at Western Kentucky University.
I know you young people said to yourselves, I am going to live a purposeful life.
And I say to you, during your 4 years of college is a time to enlarge your souls. And the way to enlarge your lives is to so broadcast your life into the lives of others that it will return to you 100-fold.
National anthem here in Frankfort, Kentucky for the All-A semifinals. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Thanks for checking out the game tonight. Looking forward to bringing this game to you. Greg, Newport Central Catholic, LCA. No doubt that these two teams are capable of not only playing in this tournament, they're both good enough. They could be playing in the Big Dance at Rupp Arena, the boys' Sweet 16 in March.
No doubt about it. Two high-quality teams tonight. As you talked about in the pregame, I'm sure LCA wants to erase that bad taste from the thrashing they took last year in this tournament to Newport Central.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Ron Don and Newport Central Catholic. They're in the dark uniforms tonight. Point guard will be Zach Pangallo, a 6-foot senior. Pangallo, 11.7 assists a game. Grant Mavis starts at a guard. He is a senior as well. And you're looking at Eric Anderson. All Eric Anderson does, Greg, is shoot 61% behind the arc. Okay, he's only 8 of 13, but still, when you can shoot 61%, I mean, that's Devin Booker-like.
That's impressive.
And then you look at the Ben Wire, the big 6'8 junior. He averages 16 points, 7 rebounds. And big Drew McDonald, 6'8 senior, 18 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for the big fella. He's headed to Northern Kentucky University. You know, he's not only great on the hardwood, he's great out on the golf course. He's a candidate for Mr. Golf, and he's going to play golf and basketball at Northern Kentucky University, which is Division I now. So kudos to that young man. And, of course, he's good friends with Matt Rose.
Yes, he is. Played AAU ball together. So not only they're going to team rivalry tonight, got a little personal rivalry between Matt Rose and him.
Let's take a look at the Eagles of Lexington Christian Academy, coached by Nate Valentine. Drew Schock, the senior, will start at the point. Big 6'8 Drew Trimble, 7 points. He's actually up that average from the last time I saw him. But I tell you, as you mentioned, Greg, double-double machine the last 3 or 4 ball games for Mr. Trimble. Matt Rose, the all-everything, 6'7 senior with the leading scorers in the 11th region. It's going to be a battle between Mr. Rose and Darius Williams for Dunbar, who was held to 16 last night. Those two are going to battle all year for that 11th region scoring crown, I would think. Then you got, of course, Kyle Rowe, the 6'5 8th grader, and Benton Nybert, the 6'4 senior, the sharpshooter, I call him, 47% behind the arc at one time. It'll be Matt Rose, and he will jump it up against Ben Wire for Newport Central Catholic. And LCA in the white, Newport Central Catholic in the blue. And Rose gets a tap and coming down with it in backcourt. John Stein gets a start here tonight. So we stand corrected on that starting 5. Stein has it across on Pangallo. And now looking down his road out top to a nice shot by Trimble. Knocks it down. Drew Trimble. Great start for the big fella.
They need a big game out of Drew Trimble tonight. He starts off with a great 15-foot shot. LCA up 2-zip.
Wire, they kick it over now to Mavis. Back over to Mavis. He's a southpaw. Pengallo over now to Anderson. Anderson's an outstanding shooter, as we said, from three-point land, 61%, and LCA packing in his own, Greg.
Yeah, one of the things that they want to make sure they do is not let Meyer and McDonald just get anywhere they want to, and good opening defensive possession.
They got a good shot there by Wire backdoor, but he missed it, and here comes LCA with that 3-0 lead. They got the great start on the trifecta out top by Drew Trimble. Kick it over now to Rowe. They give it to Matt Rose. Wire's going to draw that assignment. Here's Rose with a jumper, knocks it down. Great start for LCA and Matt Rose and Trimble. They've got 5, and they have had amnesia about last year, no doubt about it. They jump out 5-0.
Great start for LCA, what Coach Nate Valentine wanted his guys to do.
Here's Newport Central Catholic looking at that zone defense. Left side, Mavis with the 3 off the mark, and battle for it. Wire's got it. We're going to have a grab there, and I think they say Johnny Stein grabbed him. He'll pick up the personal and a reach there. First foul on him, 6:36 to go, and it's 5-0 with Lexington Christian on top with a Trimble 3 down low. They throw it through the legs of Wire, out of bounds.
Good defense by LCA. They play really aggressive defense and off to a great start.
6:36, 5-0. The turnover there as they just threw it between the legs of the big fella. Well, he's 6'8", Greg, so it's easy to throw it down there low, but got to get up high to the big guy, you know?
Absolutely. Can't throw it at a big man's feet.
Rose to cutting through Trimble. Drew looking, backing in now. Mismatch there. Trimble turns, blocked away by Wire. Good block. McDonald picks it up. Drew McDonald now hands it now to Pengallo. He was 6 for 6 last year from 3 in this semifinal game. Pengallo thought about it. Now down the lane to the basket, and it's going to be a foul called as Trimble hits the floor hard. Hope he's going to be okay. He's going to be helped up there by Matt Rose. Looks like he's going to be okay. And that's just Zach Pengallo saying, hey, I'm enough of this. I'm going to take it to the rack and see what happens.
Absolutely. Like you said in the pregame, got to stop his penetration, but we know that he's talented. He's going to get to the bucket occasionally.
Pengallo, an outstanding free throw shooter, too, 81%, and he knocks that one down. That's the first point of the game for the Breads out of the 9th region. And check it in quickly. Drew Schacht will come in for Stein. Schacht at the normally a starter, but Stein got that start tonight. He'll go to the bench, though. Pengallo hit the first one. It's 5-1 now, 6-11. Second one's too strong. Nice rebound by Matthew Rose. Rose will give it to Schacht. And Greg, good start here by LCA. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Eagles here, leading 5-1, and they got the basketball. Let's see what they do here. Nybert over to Trimble. Moves in on McDonald. I think they're going to try to have Trimble penetrate a little bit on McDonald. I think he's got a little bit of a quickness advantage there. Backdoor Rose cutting through, lays it in.
Tremendous backdoor cut by Matt Rose. One of the things that's also a strength of Drew Trimble is his passing ability for a big man.
And that's a good job there by Nate Valentine to get the ball in his hand. Turn around McDonald. He was hit as he released it. He said, hey, I was hit on the head. He knocked down the shot, and he lets the official know he was also hit on the head. 7-3. McDonald gets the first basket for the Breads. LCA on top, 7-3. Rose now looking for cutters. He's working out top with Ben Wire on him. Now Matthew Rose is going to back it up a little bit. On the dribble, stops from 3, off the mark, and rebounded by Mavis. Grant Mavis there with the rebound and pushing it. Mavis over now Pengallo. Here's a 3, bullseye.
He's averaging 11 points a game. He's a senior. He's an outstanding player.
7-6. Pengallo, who was 6 for 6 from downtown last year in the semifinal game, knocks down his first 3 here tonight. Rose back out to Schacht. Now Nybert lining up the 3. Off the iron, no. Tapped around, picked up. Good job by Kyle Rhodes. Shovels it back. It's blocked by Wire, blocked it there on Trimble, but LCA retains possession, Greg.
Yeah, LCA aggressive on the boards. Offensive rebounding is one of the Eagles' strengths this year.
Schacht now in there for Stein and gets it over to Rose. Lines it up. Bullseye. That was an NBA 3.
One of the things Matt Rose can do, he can muscle up down low, or he can shoot that 3 ball.
And he has on my sheet 7 of the 10 points already. The other 3 by Trimble. He knocked down the 3 at the top of the circle. Here's Pengallo lining up another 3. Got it again. He's 2 for 2.
Pengallo, outstanding.
10-9. Pengallo cuts it to 1. And his uncle Jimmy is a coach for Newport Central Catholic. There's been a lot of Pengallo's play there. Schacht gets it over now. Rose has it knocked away there, and it's going to be out of bounds, and almost a steal there by Anderson.
Well, with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this first quarter, Gary, I think one of the great things is LCA's gotten off to a great start to fight through that mental aspect of can we play with these guys.
Had that nice shot by Trimble to get things started, that three-pointer out top. 10-9 right now. Pangallo's hit back-to-back threes. Rode trying to shovel it down low, knocked away, and you won't get that through Newport Central Catholic's defense. That might have worked before tonight, but NCC's got those, got that length and those good hands. Pangallo, and that's in and out. His first miss, stuck back up and in by McDonald. Yep. Second basket by McDonald, in the first lead, guys, 11-10 by Newport Central Catholic. They've scored 5 in a row here after 10-6 lead by the Eagles. Now 11-10, down to Trimble. Trimble out top, Benton Nybert's three. Back of the rim, no. Battling there. We're going to have over the back called. Good call. Going over the back of Road was NCC, and they're going to call that on Anderson. First foul on Eric Anderson.
Well, one of the interesting things, Gary, about Newport Catholic, not only are they 9th in the state in scoring at 74 points a game, they're also 9th in least amount of points scored. They only have their opponents are allowed to score 47 points a game.
Matt Rose, who has been sensational in this tournament, averaging what, Greg, about 23, 24 points in this tournament?
Yes, sir.
Rode gives it down low now to Matt Rose, backing in there on wire. Kicks it out. Trimble a long three. Front of the iron, no good. And we're going to have a whistle, and a foul's going to be called. It's going to be a foul against LCA, and it's going to go on Cal Road. Little push there by Cal. 2:51. Gary Ball with Greg Horn, William Warfield. Thanks for watching the All-A Classic here tonight from the Frankfort Convention Center. 11-10 right now. NCC has a lead because Pangallo's knocked down back-to-back threes after LCA had that 10-6 lead. Down low goes McDonald. Rose out there cutting him off. McDonald going to the basket. Rose falls down, puts it up and in. McDonald. A lot of contact there. Matt Rose hit the floor, and McDonald at 6'8" made him pay for it. 13-10. Breads by 3, now their biggest lead. And Davis in there. Joe Davis has got the ball right deep on the right side, and he comes out, kicks it over now to Shock. Trimble was open. They couldn't get it to him. Rode now. Back to Shock. Back over to Rode. Rose working there to the basket. Cal Rode. Hook shot. Nice move by Cal Rode to the basket.
This guy is going to be a great player, high school player. Get used to hearing that name a lot. Only an 8th grader.
We're going to hear it for another 4 years after this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Newport Central Catholic. They throw it over to Pangallo. 13-12. Under 2 minutes now here. Pangallo hands it over to Anderson. Back Pangallo down low. It goes McDonald. He turns, powers, and lays it in.
One of the things they talked about in the pregame was not letting McDonald get posted up right on the block. LCA's got to keep him off the block. As big as he is, he's pretty much unstoppable if he gets it down that low.
You're right, Greg, and he's done it 4 times. He's got 4 baskets already. He's got 8 of their 15 points, 15-12. Road, and it's going to be a grab there, and the foul's going to be called on Anderson, and Eric's just picked up his second foul.
Well, only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this first quarter, but LCA, as we talked about, even though they're down 3, they're in this ball game, and last year it got out of hand pretty quickly.
Trimble going out as Trey King, the 6'6 sophomore, comes in, and coming in for Newport Central Catholic will be Brian Anderson. He checks in there. With it is Matt Rose, 15-12. LCA led 10-6, so since that point it's been a 9-2 run by the Breads.
1 minute, 17 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Rose trying to go down to King. Ball knocked away there by McDonald. Here comes Newport Central Catholic. Zach Pangallo leads it out the wire, goes in, threw it up too strong. King caused the problem there defensively.
I know LCA's not happy about that. Jason May's assistant coach challenged him not to let Meyer beat them down court the entire game, and we got lucky that time he missed that one. Good break for the Eagles.
Rode there with it for LCA. Gets a pick from King. Goes right side. Davis open, and he'll line it up. It's off the mark, though. Rebounded by McDonald. They're going to say, what's the call here? I think we're going to have a foul call, yeah. Thought for a minute they were going to say it hit the top of the support there on the backboard out of bounds, but called a foul.
Well, it's unusual. Davis, an outstanding shooter, shooting over 40% from three-point range, but probably a few pregame jitters, just been in the game about a minute.
38 seconds here in the first quarter. Zach Pangallo, who's been key with those 2 big threes. Into the paint, penetrates, kicks it over now to Mavis. Back out top to Wire. Now they swing it around to Brian Anderson. Wire goes over to Mavis. Southpaw lines it up. No good. Davis with a good box out there. Great box out by Joe Davis.
Yeah, he gets some great productivity off the bench. Not only a great three-point shooter, but does the little things like that. Great block out and rebound by the 5'9" senior.
Drew Schock has it out top, down the lane on the dribble. Schock stops and throws it up and knocks it down under a lot of duress.
Yeah, that was a big-time move right there. Ball fake by Drew Schock.
McDonald shot off the front of the iron from about 30 feet out. Boy, what a great first quarter of action. LCA jumped out to a nice lead, led 10-6, and then from that point on, it was a 9-4 run by the Braves. They lead here as we head to the second quarter, 15-14. We'll return here to Frankfort, Kentucky with the All-A Classic semifinals after this timeout.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
The Kids Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide.
If you have children,
Or if you have children among your family and friends, be sure to pick up this monthly magazine at local high-traffic parent areas, or you can view the entire book online at kykidsdirectory.com. The first issue was published in March 2001, so this year marks 14 years of bringing families and local businesses.
Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield back here, second quarter action, and McDonald, eight points for Newcastle, and then first quarter long, Pengallo was 7, all 15 points, and Matt Rose was 7 to lead the way for LCA. Trimble did knock down that 3 to get things started. 15-14, out top with it, McDonald, and he's going to fake with it, kick it over to Mavis, lines it up, back of the rim, no, long rebound, good job by Drew Schock to track it down. Here's Schock wanting to push, a little bump there, no call. And Schock now works it into the lane. A lot of contact, lays it up left hand, and Schock hits the floor. And here comes Newport Central Catholic with a good defense there by Freppin. I guess you could say that was good defense. Here goes to Mavis. I thought it was a lot of contact. Shovel over to Wire. He lines up a 3. Off the iron, no. And Rode there battling, taps it, and it's last touched by NCC. So give it to the Eagles with a chance to take the lead here, Greg, with 7:19 before halftime.
It's good to see that. We want to thank real quickly the late Joe and thank Judy Rose for having the vision of LCA, and also special thanks to the Rose family for sponsoring tonight's broadcast.
Absolutely. Thanks to all of our sponsors here. Schock loses it, but Davis trying to save it, throws it right to Mavis. He's got a bust down. Mavis drives, hangs, scoops, scores, foul.
That's one of those calls there that you hate to see, but it's kind of when you, even though it didn't look like Drew Schock touched him, any effort at all, usually the ref's going to call that.
And one mistake, Joe Davis, being a former player, you always want to throw it towards your basket, not toward the other team's basket. Mavis picked it off, had a wide open layup. Throw the ball back towards your basket, somebody might grab it. And Mavis completes the three-point play the John Houseman way. He earned it, right?
Yes, he did.
18-14, so the Braves by 4. And here comes LCA, Cal Road. Full court press. Pengallo's going to pick up Schock to three-quarter. Here's a steal by Wire. Wire drives down and dunks it. Ben Wire with the first basket of the game, and the lead is 6 now for the Braves, 20-14. Looking to win this thing 3 years in a row. They are back-to-back All-A champions. Foul's going to be called on Pengallo.
Well, this is the part where LCA's got to have mental toughness, Gary. Get a steal. They're up 6 points, but one of those things you don't want to get into double figures, so LCA needs to get a bucket here. I think this is a key possession early in the game.
This is where you got to get your man, your big guy, your big cog, Matt Rose, a good look here at the basket. You got Benton Nybert back in there as well. King, Road, kicks it over to Schock. He's open from 3, in and out, and rebounded by big Drew McDonald at 6'8". And not only is he 6'8", he's thick. Mavis for the Braves, hands to Pengallo. It was his 2 threes, Greg, early that got him back in this game after LCA had all that early momentum.
Yeah, he's an outstanding senior player for him. As you said, he's kind of he's a captain, makes things happen. Great pull-up shot there.
And he knocks it down. Pengallo now with 9 points, and the lead is 8, the largest it's been for NCC, and Coach Valentine knows this is a precarious point of the game right now. He's going to call a good timeout. Great timeout by Nate Valentine with 5:57 to go before halftime, and the Breads of NCC on a little bit of a run here, Greg, leading 22-14.
Yes, Newport Central is definitely a team of runs. I watched the game against Elliott County last night, and it was 45-14 at halftime, and they went on some impressive runs. And so Coach Nate Valentine, as we've talked about, does an outstanding job in his first year. Those 9 years under Brian Lane's tutelage at Trancy, realized, hey, we got to keep this thing in control, and I'm sure he will. And one of the things I've noticed this year, Gary, from doing a lot of LCA games, quite often, if LCA has the ball coming out of the timeout, they've scored.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do tonight. Get up, he's drawn up a nice play there. I see him working on the board down there in the huddle there. Nate Valentine drawing up a nice play coming out of this timeout. You always want to have a good design play, and you want to make it hurt. Newport Central Catholic, they trailed 10-6. So since that point, they have been on a 16-4 run here, now leading 22-14.
What Newport Central Catholic is known for. That's what they do, and so LCA needs to get a bucket here, crash the boards, no second shots. As Nolan Barger, high school coach at Tates Creek for 25-plus years, always said it's not usually the first shot beats you, it's the second.
That's right. We got a nice crowd in here tonight, especially looking below us, Greg and I up here in the, and William up here in the Crow's Nest. A nice crowd below us here at the, what's this called, the Farnham Dungeon? Is it still the Farnham Dungeon Stadium here? I know they call it the Frankfort Convention Center.
Convention Center, right. That's what I know it as.
Rose across the line on Wire. Matt Strong to the basket, blocked away by Wire. Ben Wire at 6'7", can match Matt Rose's 6'7" length. And Wire took him in and swatted it out of bounds.
But great play out of LCA. Coach Valentine got him an isolated shot, and just a great defensive play.
King has it tapped away, and it's going to be out of bounds. Oh, no, he got the timeout before he went out of bounds. He got the call, the timeout on a great hustle there by Freppen. And he called the timeout before he went out of bounds. And, boy, LCA Coach Valentine not happy with that call at all.
Well, that happened right in front of us, and I kind of got to agree with Coach Valentine, but that's how it rolls, so just got to play through it. But one of the things that Newport Central does is they get their hands on a lot of balls, a lot of deflections, and so you've got to be really strong with the ball, make good, crisp passes, the lob passes, long passes, dead duck, for lack of a better term, passes. Those won't work against Newport Central.
And, of course, want to thank all the sponsors tonight on this broadcast with PrepSpin and William Warfield. I know.
Appreciate the Rose family once again for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Robbie Davis sponsored the first two games, so we really appreciate that. And Zija.
Pengallo across, the point guard. Gives it now to McDonald, posting up on King. McDonald shovels it back. Pengallo fakes now, thought about another three. Kicks it in the corner. McDonald down low. They go to Wire. He's working on Rose. Wire going baseline, powers it up and in. Ben Wire with 4 points now, and the lead has ballooned to 10 for Newport Central Catholic, their biggest lead.
Well, once they get it on the block, either Wire or McDonald, it's almost over, so we've got to get them off the block.
Rose working on Wire. Matt looking for cutters. Stops, a little fadeaway, won't go, and rebounded, pulled down there by Freppen. Freppen at 6'4". Pengallo stops from three, got it. That's his third trifecta. He hit 6 last year, and the lead is 13 now for Newport Central Catholic, 27-14 with 4:55 to go here in the first half. And Zach Pengallo now with his third three-pointer for Newport Central Catholic.
Well, he only came into this game averaging 11 points per game, but he's already got 9. And if he's hitting the three ball, if he's 2 for 3 from three-point range like he is, you know already they're going to be tough inside with McDonald and Wire. So makes Newport Central really tough, and I guess that's why they're 18-3, Gary.
Yep, I think that's why you got to get Drew Trimble. If you're Nate Valentine, you probably get Trimble back in the ball game. I'm sure he's thinking about that at this point. Drew did knock down the big three to start the ball game. He has checked back in for the Eagles. Drew Trimble back in the lineup. So he's going with the big lineup now. This is the biggest lineup LCA can put on the floor when you got King at 6'6", Trimble 6'8", Nybert 6'4", 6'4" for Kyle Rode, and 6'7" for Matt Rose.
I agree. That's what I think. Good adjustments there by Nate Valentine. One of the things Kyle Rode can actually do is handle the ball really well, especially for an 8th grader and to be 6'4".
Pengallo dogging him. Rode down the lane, throws up a runner. Tough shot, won't go in traffic. Pulled down by Drew McDonald. Newport Central Catholic up with their largest lead of 13 with 4:35 here before halftime. McDonald's got it for the Breads. Hands it to Pengallo. Pengallo down the lane. King comes over, but Pengallo lays it in anyway. King tried to help out.
He really did. That's just a great finish there by Pengallo, and he's the difference in the game right now.
He's got 14 of their 29 points to Pengallo. Here's Rose a long three. Off the mark.
LCA settling for too many long shots like that. Got to get some dribble penetration. They're a great passing team, but starting to get a little kind of probably nervous, down 15, but got to get some better ball movement, some better shots.
4 minutes to go here in the first half. Pengallo with 14 points. He himself has equaled LCA's 14 points. 3:52 to go. Mavis deep on the left side. He kicks it back over down to Ben Wire. Wire's the grandson of the, here's Pengallo, another three off the mark, this time tapped up and picked up. Good box out there by Trimble. Trimble would not let anybody from New. Here's Rode down the lane. Kicks it over to Matt Rose with 3:32. The point I was making about Wire, he's the grandson to the legendary coach Jim Wire up there at Newport Catholic. King lining it up and knocks it down. That's a three. That's a huge shot there for not only Trey King. That's a big shot for the Eagles. Cuts it down to 29-17.
Huge shot. They definitely needed that. And for Trey King, actually the first field goal, three-point field goal he's made all season.
I was wondering about that, Mr. Horn.
0 for 2 going into this, so big shot.
He's no longer 0 from 3. That's a big one right there. Lob down to McDonald. Kicks it over to Wire. He lines up a three. That's off the mark. There's King battling, and McDonald went over his back. Good job by King to box out. And Drew McDonald's going to pick it up. Maybe if LCA can get this thing down to single digits and survive this onslaught by Newport Central Catholic, anything can happen in the second half, because with LCA's big guns, they can certainly get back in it in a hurry.
It'd be a huge mental victory for LCA to get it under 10. That was a great defensive possession by LCA there.
Nybert sees King, wakes there on McDonald, and King banks it home. Well, good job. He hesitated, Greg, because he said, okay, big fella, if you're going to block it, go ahead. I'm going to give you the head and shoulder, everything I got, then I'm going to lay it in.
Outstanding play, mental play there by Trey King. Just a sophomore and only 14 years old.
Only 14, and remember, Rhodes only an 8th grader. Future looks bright.
Yes, it does.
29-19, and the lead's cut down to 10. You get that three-pointer by King, and then the bank by King. 5 consecutive points here. 2:14 to go before halftime. Let's see if the Eagles can get it down to single digits, workable margin. Mavis stops from about 10, and he floats it in.
Well, once again, too much dribble penetration into the lane. Great job there of offensive execution by Newport Central.
Lead back to a dozen on the Mavis. Boy, I tell you, they got some nice-looking lefties on that team, don't they? Got a couple of them. 1:50 to go here. Ball knocked away by Wire. Of course, Matt Rose, an outstanding lefty as well. What is it with the LCA? You got to be a lefty to be a big scorer. You know, Taylor Barnett, who he just passed, was a southpaw, as I recall.
Yeah, it's a pretty shot when Matt Rose leaves his hand. Looks like it's going to be good every time.
Rose, of course, has verbally committed to Sanford, but has not signed on the dotted line, as they say. So maybe a little window of opportunity there, maybe, Greg? Are you thinking maybe, possibly?
Most definitely. He's an outstanding player. If he stays at Sanford, great catch for them. If not, I'm sure he'll have other options at the end of the season.
And here's going to be another foul called on Wire as Rose posted up, and Wire grabbed him. You know, that's the key to this game right here. You've got to get Wire and McDonald in foul trouble, because if you get one or both of them out of the ball game, LCA can win this ball game. But with them both, they're so big and so active in there.
Yeah, they are. They're huge.
Right side wide open. Trimble knocks it down from about 10. Boy, nice jumper. Drew Trimble showing some of that mid-range jump shot ability. It's a lost start today. I love that.
Big defensive possession. As you said, Gary, if they can get this thing under 10 before halftime, it'll be a huge mental win for LCA.
Ben Wire's got it. He skips it over to Mavis. Man-to-man right now. Nybert has that assignment. Mavis calling for a pick. Gets it from McDonald. Cut off there by Trimble. Goes down low, and Freppen has it. He's cut off. 3 seconds should be the call, and that's a good call. That's 3 seconds every time. You can't pitch a 10 down there, Greg Horn.
Well, I thought the same, but obviously it doesn't matter what we think, what the official does, but he called it. So a great defensive stop by LCA. We can get a bucket here, get it under 10, it'd be awesome.
We were just calmly reminding him, you know, that was more than
little encouragement,
just
right?
a little encouragement from up top here. Minute 5 here, 10-point lead. LCA can cut into that. They go to King. He's got backdoor Rose. Rose stops, throws it, it rolls off. Had it gone, it would have counted as he's fouled. Matt Rose, let's see who they called that one. If it goes on Pengallo or Wire, either one. And went on Pengallo, that's his second.
Well, here's a good thing. Matt Rose is 8th in the state in free throw shooting, 87%.
Yep. So they put the wrong guy on the line. But it's a shame, usually Matt Rose finishes that shot. Usually this is the three-point opportunity here. But nevertheless, with Mr. Rose at the line, you got a good chance to put some points up. And it is down to single digits now, Greg Horn. It's 31-22, and Matt Rose could cut it to 8. Still 57 seconds.
One of the things also so impressive about Matt, he shot 171 attempts. I bet there's not 5 other people in the state that have shot that many, yet he makes 87%.
I guarantee you that. He may be the number one free throw attempt guy in the state. I haven't seen anybody shoot that many.
In the top 20 of people shooting, the next closest is 137.
Not even close.
So
31-23. And I believe Pengallo with that second foul had to get out of there. Yes, he did. Mavis in. He almost lost it. But he kicks it to his teammate there, Anderson. Anderson blocked away by Trimble. Said, not here, not tonight.
Great defense by Drew Trimble. The pressure there without Pengallo in the game, as you said, causing the pressure causing problems for Newport Central.
That was great recovery there by Drew Trimble, wasn't it? Like Anderson would have an easy layup, and Drew Trimble said, 31-23. LCA right back in this thing after trailing by as many as, 15? To the basket, Anderson left hand. No, nice rebound by Matt Rose. Great rebound. Rose with good position and snared it out of there. So
Nate Valentine will try to get one shot.
That's what I would do.
You're
down 8.
25 seconds left. It'd be great to go in the locker room even down less than 8.
Shock working out top on Anderson. Kicks it over to Kyle Rode. Rode down the lane. Strong move. Lays it up and in. Big time move by the 8th grader. 31-25. The lead has been cut to 6, and Ron Don is up off his bench. And boy, the LCA fans now are fired up. Here's Anderson, and that's off the mark. Trimble got a hand on it. Wire picks it up, throws it over his head. It won't go, but he's fouled with 0.7 of a second. And, boy, if you're LCA, you're just shaking your head. My goodness, we're going to give them an opportunity to score. We had it down to 6 and could have gone into the locker room only down 6, but at the line will be Wire. And the problem here, he's an 80% free throw shooter.
Yeah, even though that's amazing.
A big fella,
guys.
yeah.
McDonald and Wire both shoot the free throws really, really well.
Ben Wire, a 6'7" junior. McDonald is a senior going to Northern, and that one is out of there. I'm glad we talked about what a great free throw shooter he was because he missed the first one.
Yeah, Newport Central actually 6th in the state. LCA number 1 in free throw shooting. Newport Central 6th, but hey, we'll take that miss.
Let's see what Mr. Wire does here, and he got the second one. 5 points for Ben Wire. I don't think they have time. No, Trimble's going to throw it three-quarter court off the mark. But a good comeback there in the late in the second quarter by the Eagles after trailing by 15. Actually had it down to 6. Greg Horn before the late foul there that allowed Mr. Wire to knock down a free throw. But a workable margin here. You come out, it's 32-25 here, only down 7 here at halftime.
I think if you're Coach Nate Valentine, you've got to be thrilled to be down only by 7. It looked like it was going to get out of hand when Newport got up by 15. So LCA in great shape, Gary, 32-25. And one of the things I've seen this year covering a lot of LCA games is when they were down at halftime, the first couple minutes of the second half, they've always come out strong. Look for LCA to do that again tonight.
And Zach Pengallo also went to the bench with those 14 points with his second foul. And we'll come back here and give you some halftime numbers here at the Frankfort Convention Center with William Warfield and PrepSpin and Greg Horn, Gary Ball. Thanks for watching tonight. Good ball game. And Newport Central Catholic, one of the top teams in the state. And LCA, another top team. Both teams ranked in the top 20. 32-25 here at the All-A Classic semifinals. We'll return to Frankfort's Convention Center after this timeout.
The Kids Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide. If you have children, or if you have children among your family and friends,
define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Choosing a college is a major decision.
So why did I choose WKU?
Because at WKU, professors are experts in their field.
I'm encouraged to study abroad
and make the whole world my classroom.
And where I get real-world experience. Doing exactly what I want to do. And where I have all the tools I need to prepare for a successful future.
It's all within my reach at Western Kentucky University.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
Welcome back here to the Frankfort Convention Center, the All-A Classic Touchstone Energy All-A Classic semifinals, and it's a good one. Newport Central Catholic, one of the top teams in the state, with an outstanding record coming in of 18-3, and the LCA Eagles 17-6. Here are the individual scoring in that first half. For the Eagles, Drew Schacht had 2 points. Drew Trimble had 5. Of course, he hit that big three to top of the circle to start things. Matt Rose with 9 points. Cal Rowe with 4. Did a great job there late in that first half with that runner. And Trey King, a great job off the bench with 5 points for the Eagles, total of 25 here at halftime. Newport Central Catholic, they have 32 points up on the board. Zach Pengallo, he has 14 of the 32. Did pick up his second foul, Greg. They're late in that first half, so that could be pivotal in his second half to get him in some deeper foul trouble. Grant Mavis had 5 points, the sharpshooter, and then Ben Wire had 5 points. Drew McDonald, 8 points, but all 8 in the first period. They shut him down the second quarter. That's individual scoring. Newport Catholic leading 32-25, and Greg has some other numbers from this first half.
Well, team-wise, Newport Central shot 52% in the first half. LCA 43.5. From three-point range, Newport Central was 27%. LCA shot 30%. Free throw percentage, LCA 100%. Newport Catholic, who actually is an outstanding team, only shot 60%, so that was a nice advantage there for LCA. And then also we've got for turnover points, we only have 1 for LCA. Second chance points, LCA had 3. Bench points, LCA had 7. Newport Catholic had 0, and that was one of the things that we had talked about, that we thought that LCA had an advantage because they had better depth on the bench, and that's really coming true. Trey King stepped up big time in the coming off the bench, and so that was a huge thing for LCA. Hit his first 3 of the whole year. Turnovers, LCA had 5. They did struggle a little bit there. Newport Central only had 2. LCA had 0 steals, which is unusual for them, but Newport Central is an outstanding basketball team. They don't turn it over a lot. On the other hand, Newport Central did have 4 steals against LCA, but like you said, Gary, I think it was huge that LCA got it under 10 and has it down to 7, so I think it could be anybody's game here.
Well, I think you brought up a really good point late in that first half. When they were down 15, LCA showed that they could play with these guys getting back in the game, actually having it down to 6 there late in the first half. So when I go into the locker room, I'm Nate Valentine, I'm really playing on that. I'm saying, guys, look, we were down 15, we got it down to 6 like it was nothing, so we can play with these guys guys. This isn't last year. Let's come out here in the second half, keep playing like we did the last 4 or 5 minutes of that first half, and things should look pretty good for the Eagles.
Well, Drew Trimble and Matt Rhodes both had really good first halves. Trey King, so I think you just got to get more out of those two guys. Matt Rhodes only got 4 shot attempts, and when you're averaging 23 points a game, I'm sure that one of the things that Coach Valentine probably talked about at halftime is, hey guys, let's try to get the ball into Matt a little bit more. They ran a few isolation plays for him, and he had a couple of just shots that rimmed in and out. One he got fouled on, but I look for him to get more shots up this half and put a few more points on the game. But I think LCA is in really, really good shape, and as we talked about, man, getting 5 points from Trey King in his first 3 ball of the year is outstanding.
Yeah, that's a good time to get your first 3 of the season if you're a big Trey King. And I think William got a shout-out from his uncle watching the game down in Louisiana. Enjoyed watching him play tonight down in Louisiana on the PrepSpin webcast. And special thanks tonight, too, to the late Joe and Judy Rose for having the vision of Lexington Christian Academy. Also, special thanks to the Rose family for sponsoring tonight's broadcast here on PrepSpin. And thanks to Robbie Davis for his help in the previous 2 games. I tell you, we appreciate those folks because as William and you guys talked about it, Joe, there's a rights fee involved here to broadcast the All-A Classic, and without those folks sponsoring that, well, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. William Warfield had a great vision to get this started. Robbie Davis supported it financially, and he's just taking the ball and run. And so for Gary and I, it's just a real honor to do this, and what a great advantage for family members all over the country to be able to see it like they're sitting right here with us in the Civic Center in Frankfort, Kentucky.
And I watched you guys earlier this week, the Thursday morning game and the Friday game before I went over to Dunbar last night, and I told William it is a great, it looks like you're right there. I mean, the quality is so good. I don't know the lighting in here and the colors, but it just really pops out at you. At least it did on my screen, and I've got a pretty good size monitor on my computer, so I was really enjoying it. You guys did a terrific job. And 32-25 here, Greg. I expect a good second half. I think LCA has proven now that they can play with this very talented NCC team, and of course NCC, they're living off that game last year where they just took control. I mean, it was pretty much over at halftime, but that is not the case here tonight.
No, not at all. And Pengallo, he only averaging 11, their senior point guard, and yet he had 14 the first half. So he had more than he usually averages in a whole game. And I think that may have caught LCA off guard a little bit because Wire and McDonald are the 2 big dogs for them. So don't look for Pengallo to get many open looks in this half.
And Pengallo's quickness is a problem, and this is probably a game where, I dare say it, but where Trevor Hill has really missed because he does have some quicks to him, and of course, he's such a good ball player, but nevertheless, you go with what you got, and what you got is the guards of Shockton, Stein, and Davis, and those guys, and they've been really working hard out there for LCA. We're going to start the second half here. The Breads of Newport Central Catholic, they will start with the same 5 that they started the game with: Zach Pengallo, Grant Mavis, Eric Anderson, Ben Wire, Drew McDonald. And for LCA, it will be John Stein, who started, Matt Rose, Kyle Rowe, Drew Trimble, and also will be Benton Nybert. I hope Nybert gets on track here, knocking down some threes in the second half. Could be huge for the Eagles. Backdoor, they go to Rose, and he grabs it. Ball is going to be thrown back and saved there by NCC's outstanding hustle by Anderson. Boy, he saved that one back in bounds. Looked like Rose was going to have a backdoor. LCA looks like they're going to go into a zone defense right now.
The LCA has not played a lot of zone, but against this team with those 2 big guys and to protect from foul trouble, decided to mix it up a little bit. Plus, Newport Central would not be expecting it because LCA has not played a lot of zone, but it's worked out pretty well overall.
Mavis over to Anderson. He's open from 3. He knocks it down. We said what a great three-point shooter he was. That's the first look he's got tonight. He shoots 61% behind the arc, and boy, Anderson looked good on that. The lead is back to 10 now at 35-25.
Well, the thing you said, though, is he doesn't take very many, so you're going to say, hey, let's see if you can make those.
Nybert! Benton Nybert answering the 3 by Anderson. 35-28.
Not a surprise there. Nybert's shooting almost 45% from three-point range this year.
McDonald power move, and Trimble comes over, stuck back up by Wire, can't get it to go. Foul called. I think Rose picked it up.
Yeah, that's one of those that hurts there. If you get McDonald to miss that close, you got to get the rebound. So we got to get a body on guys and not let those second shots get us.
That is the first foul on Matt Rose, and that will send Wire to the line. He was there right at the end of the first half, as you might recall, and missed the first one, knocked down the second one. This time he knocks down the first one. He's got 6 points now. Big 6'7" junior for Rondon and Newport Catholic. They lead 36-28, 6:51 in the third, and he got them both.
He's an outstanding free throw shooter.
The lead is 9, and here come the Eagles of Lexington Christian Academy. Matt Rose is going to handle it. Gives it now to Trimble. He's going to be fouled by McDonald. That's 2 on him. He joins Wire and Pingala with 2 fouls.
Yeah, I would expect maybe that Coach Nate Valentine, they'll go after McDonald, try to get that third on him. He's guarding Drew Trimble, who's a great scorer.
Stein hands it now to Trimble, over to Rode. Rode back to Trimble, back over to Rode, and penetrates to the lane. Trimble with the left hand, lays it in. Trimble was nimble that time with the left hand. Laid it nice up off the board, 37-30.
Yeah, he's really kind of deceiving because you don't think a big guy like that can put it on the floor like that. But Drew Trimble, really an effective offensive player, both shooting jump shots or putting the ball on the floor.
Mavis could knock down that 3, rebounded by LCA. They could cut it down here, possibly to 4 with a 3-pointer, 37-30. Rose backs up a little bit. He's guarded by Wire. Hands it back now to Stein. Rode penetrates. Rode needs some help. Back over to Stein. Over to Benton Nybert. He knocked down that 3, so getting a little bit more coverage out there, if you will, by the NCC defense.
One of the things that LCA is doing this half, Gary, is they're spreading the floor.
3-pointer! Knocked down by Rode. Excuse me, Greg.
Well, it's obvious they think they can take him off the dribble, plus with floor spacing creates open looks like that by Kyle Rode.
37-33. Kyle Rode has gotten this LCA crowd fired up. 4-point ball game here. Pengallo down low to McDonald, posts it up on Rose. McDonald powers it off glass. Good move there by McDonald. He's got double figures now with 10, and boy, he just went to work on big Matt Rose. But of course, McDonald's 6'8", about 240, 250.
Well, he's just a big man. He's a great player. He gets it down that low. It's just a great play. Can't stop that.
Rode over to Stein, launches the 3, back of the rim, no. Tapped around, Rode gets a hand on it, picked up by McDonald. He leads it out Wire, and he throws it over to his teammate, saves it back in, and McDonald comes up with it. McDonald down low to Wire, and it's tipped away there by LCA. Good call by the official. LCA player got a hand on it. 39-33, Greg, with 4:46 here in the third quarter.
LCA getting off to a good start, holding their own here, so got to keep it up. Get a good stop right here. Great deflection steal by John Stein.
Yeah, good hands there. I'm not sure who slapped that one away, but McDonald had it stripped. Benton Nybert goes to Trimble. He lines up an 18-footer bullseye. He was just inside the line, about 18 and a half feet, but I believe that three-pointer is, 19-9, or did they move it back even more, Greg?
Well, that's one of the things we talked about is that we got to have a big game out of Drew Trimble because they're keying on Matt Rose. He's had double-doubles in the first 4 games of the All-A. He looks like he might possibly get another one tonight.
Mavis, he thought about it. Now he launches a 3, got it. He thought about it, then he said, well, if you're going to leave me this wide open, I'm going to shoot it. And he knocked. That's a big 3 right there because if you're LCA, you had it down to 4, and now Mavis extends it back to 7, 42-35 at the 4-minute mark. Rose kicks it over to Benton Nybert. Baseline cut off. Now to Trimble. Back to Rose, and Wire's drawn that defensive assignment for Rondon and the Breads. 3:44 here in the third. Rose down the right side, kicks it now to Stein. Stein over to Benton Nybert, open 3, off the mark, but rolls out of there. Almost went back in. Rode fouled. Nybert throws it up, no good, and he thought he was fouled. So
great penetration there by Stein, and the kick for the 3 ball. It just didn't go down.
Nybert's 3 looked like it was going to come back down for him and go through, but came out the second time. I would have cut it to 4. Here's Pengallo launching a 3. That's short. Long rebound, tracked down by Nybert. And here comes LCA pushing it. Stein open. Kicks it Trimble, about a 10-footer. Bullseye for Trimble. That's 6 for Drew Trimble in the quarter. 11 now, and it's 42-37. Breads by 5 with 2:55 in the third.
Drew Trimble's got the hot hand. Let's keep feeding him.
Pengallo now to Wire. Goes deep in the corner to Anderson. Mavis Rhodes going to give Mavis that. Pangallo now works down the lane, throws it up, and he rattles it in. 16 now for Pangallo.
Well, he's 6'1". He's got a little bit of height on our guys, and so he is taking advantage of that.
And he's got that quick first step.
Yeah, he's
off the dribble.
Got 16 points and only averages 11 for a whole game, so really great game by him tonight.
Rose to Rode. Free throw line jumper, back of the rim, no, and rebounded by Wire. Knocked away by Rode, and reaching foul is going to be called on Kyle Rode. Had a good look at the 15-footer and then tried to go back and strip it away from Wire and call for the reach. Going to have a timeout, I believe. Nope, going to have substitutions coming in. That's the reason for the horn. 2:12 to go, 44-37. 7-point lead, and here comes Pangallo. Long pass to Wire. Skips it back, and thinking about it was Anderson, but he's going to redirect the offense. Pangallo's open and off the mark. Rebounded by Rose.
Great block out there by Matt Rose. Got to limit them to one shot because they do a great job on the boards, and got to limit to one shot if they miss. Good job by LCA. Good block out there by Matt Rose.
Rose stops. A little fake. Partially blocked there by Wire. Pulled out by McDonald. Going to lead a long pass out to Wire, and he's going to lay it up and in.
It's one of the things that Jason May challenged the team not to let him get us back in transition, beat us, and he did, and the result was a bucket.
Wire got the deflection and got the pass from his teammate McDonald, laid it in on the other end. Rode. Drew Schacht is in, gives it now to King. He turns off glass. Nice shot by Trey King, and he's got 7 now.
Trey King, big-time game tonight from him.
That was a nice shot. That was Bill Walton-like. Remember Bill Walton used to use that glass from that angle. I'm going way back, aren't I? Here's a nice move by McDonald. He draws the foul. And pick your poison there. You had King, Rode, and Rose there. And they're going to call that on Trey King.
Yeah, look, the young kids listening at home, Gary, are like, who's Dad, Mom, who's Bill Walton? But, you know, bonus thing tonight, you talked about Trey King, Gary. He's only averaging 1.7 points per game. He's got 7 tonight, so a huge spark off the bench for LCA tonight.
McDonald knocked down the free throw. He's got 11 now. The lead is 47-39 with 52-5, and missed that one. Rebounded by Trimble.
McDonald's an outstanding free throw shooter, so that's a nice plus there for LCA.
Schock gets it over to Trimble, deep on the left side, free throw line extended. He's open for about 16, rolls out of there, tapped up, and King in there battling, but Wire taps it to Pangallo, and here comes Newport Central Catholic. They'll be battling up in that 9th region with Covington Catholic, the defending state champions, and Covington Holmes. They got Beetle Bolden, one of the top point guards in the state.
Need a big stop here. Only 15 seconds left here in this half, so LCA needs to get a stop, keep this thing under 10.
McDonald back to Pangallo, down to 10 seconds. Pangallo down the lane, throws it up, and puts it in. Pangallo now with 18. That's 7 above his average, and we'll head to the final quarter. It's going to take another comeback by LCA as we head to the 4th quarter. It is Newport Central Catholic trying to win their 3rd straight All-A Classic. They lead 49-39 over the Eagles of Lexington Christian Academy. Great quarter that time by Trimble. He knocked down 3 baskets, and I think they held Matt Rose to no points in that 3rd. So we're going to step out and return here to the Frankfort Convention Center after this timeout.
The Kids Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide.
If you have children,
or if you have children among your family and friends, be sure to pick up this monthly magazine at local high-traffic parent areas, or you can view the entire book online at kykidsdirectory.com. The first issue was published in March 2001, so this year marks 14 years of bringing families and local businesses together.
It's been my dream come true to be your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I view the people of Western Kentucky as our family. So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015. We will start the journey to make Kentucky proud again. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Back for the final quarter, Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield. Newport Catholic will start with the ball. The Breads out of the 9th region against LCA out of the 11th region. All-A Classic semifinals. And if you're wondering, the next game will be Owen County, Monroe County. The winner here will play them in the championship tomorrow afternoon. LCA's got to come back from 10. Newport Central Catholic, a tough team to come back from. Come back on Pengallo, looking for his 20th point. Off the iron, no. King taps it. Coming down with a Kyle Rode. Rode wanting to push it. Spinning, nice move by Rode, and puts it up. No, King battling, but pulled down by McDonald. Pengallo with 18 points. He leads everybody. Over to McDonald, great golfer as well. Hands it Pengallo and back to McDonald. He'll line up the three. All over King, won't go, and rebounded, pulled out of there, coming with it, Drew Schock. 7 minutes to play, Greg, and 10-point deficit for LCA.
Yeah, really like to get this thing under. I think Matt Rose only 5 shots in the game.
And there we go.
There. That's what we need.
Matt Rose needs to light it up here in this fourth quarter. He's got 11 now, and it's 49-41. Breads by 8. Their biggest lead was, 15 in the first half?
It was. So good defensive stop here. You get that. No second shots. Watch Pengallo since he's had the big game.
Pengallo to Wire with Trimble cutting him off. Wire backing in. Out top, McDonald lining up the three. Front of the iron, no. Tapped up. And let's see. Wire shovels it back over to Mavis. Back to Pengallo. So they get another opportunity here, Greg, after it looked like LCA was going to get the ball there.
Yeah, the second shot, we got to limit them to one shot.
Might be a grab there on Trey King. That'll be his third.
Yeah, big guy McDonald using that experience on the young 14-year-old guy, getting good position, but Trey King with a great game tonight. He'll learn from that.
And Greg, for the second time tonight, Coach Valentine going with a big lineup, bringing Nybert back in there. They've gone with this lineup a couple times tonight. McDonald working in on King. McDonald throws it up, no, and rebounded by Rose. McDonald thought he was fouled, so did Ron Don. He's screaming at the official. Down on the other end, LCA. Look, here's Rose lining up the three, and it rolls off. Stuck back up and in by Rode.
That's big time right there. Matt Rose time to step up. Kyle Rode, the 8th grader, with a great putback. LCA, a really strong offensive rebounding team, paid off there.
LCA fans trying to get them fired up. Only down 6 with 5:40 to play. Here at the All-A Classic, Touchstone Energy All-A Classic. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield. Nice stick back by Rode. Here's going to be a grab on LCA. They called that on King. That'll be his 4th. And they did call it on Mr. King. That's 4 on King. 49-43, Greg. And just when you think Newcastle's going to, maybe pull away, here comes something like Kyle Rowe with a stick back, or a Rose hitting a shot. And here's going to be another grab call. Things get a little chippy here with 5:31 to play. Referee's trying to calm everybody down.
Well, we talked about LCA having a lot of mental toughness this year. One of the things Nate Valentine has wanted to establish, and that's what mental toughness is, when you respond to the other team's runs. And so basketball's a game of runs, and LCA needs to get one here, get this 6-point deficit down to 4.
With the basketball there at Newport Central Catholic, they kick it over to Freppen, who just checked in. Seth Freppen, who played a little bit in the first half, a couple of minutes.
Great scouting report right there. LCA said this guy's not going to shoot threes. If he does, let him do it. They wouldn't even guard him. I love that.
And there's going to be a grab on, said he elbowed him. Ron Don said what? Fisher said he elbowed him, and it's going to be on Pengallo. It's going to be his 3rd. Boy, so Pengallo picks up his 3rd. Here comes LCA with a great opportunity here to cut into this 49-43 lead. Kyle Rode.
Look for Drew Trimble or Matt Rose to get a bucket here.
Trimble stops out top, looking for Rose. Now gets it to him. Wire's a good defender for his size, isn't he?
He does. Moves his feet well. He's a great player.
Rode to Rose. Rose dumps it to Benton Nybert. He spins, open from about 10. No good. There's battling Trimble. Trimble comes down with it, throws it up and in. What a job by Trimble.
That was a grown man's play right there.
You're exactly right, Greg. That was a man play right there.
Drew Trimble was not going to be denied. Great play by Drew Trimble.
Here come the Eagles. 49-45. A lot of time left, Mr. Horn. 4:27 to go. And that's a message play right there by Mr. Trimble. He's telling the rest of his team, hey, guys, we can beat this team. Let's get – and he grabbed the ball, put it back up and in, and he's got 13 points now. And as you said, Greg, that was a man play right there.
Yeah, one of the things that we had talked about, William Warfield has said that Drew Trimble just needs to be more aggressive, and he is showing that tonight. That's been a good call by William Warfield, and Drew Trimble has been very, very aggressive tonight.
That was his William Warfield play right there. We'll start calling that the Warfield right there when you grab the ball. And the reason that was so impressive, I'm not making, trying to make, sugarcoat or anything like that. The point is, you're going up against two other big 6'8" guys, and they're not only 6'8", they both are thick. Wire and McDonald for Newport Catholic, and that's just a guy saying, I want a little bit more than you guys want it, fellas, and I'm going to get it, and he did. That's a terrific play there, and this is going to be anybody's ball game. I'm telling you, this could be really interesting here the last 4 minutes of this ball game, 49-45, and Ron Don, he felt it too. He said, man, I need a timeout here, like Nate Valentine that first half when NCC went on that big run. He got the great timeout. That's a great timeout there by Ron Don of Newport Central Catholic.
Most definitely was. Drew Trimble just said, you know what, I'm not going to be denied, and he sent a message to Newport Cath. We are for real, and we're here to play. So 4-point got. I don't think LCA could ask for anything better, considering we were down 15 in the first half, and Newport Cath hadn't lost a game by less than 30 in this tournament.
Nice crowd in here tonight enjoying this great high school basketball game. Thanks for watching tonight on PrepSpin. Left side, they kick it to Mavis. Mavis looking for McDonald. With King on him. King's got to be cautious, Greg, with 4 fouls. You play a little softer when you got 4 on you. 3's no big deal, but when you got 4, you got to maybe back off a little bit. But I don't. Trey King's going after him, though. It's a battle going on there.
Well, that's one thing the coaches said, to keep McDonald off the block. So he was following the scouting report, did a good job. It does have to watch getting his 5th foul, but good ball movement. Good movement of his feet.
Pangallo about a 10-footer off the mark. Great rebound by Matt Rose. LCA can cut it to 2, maybe 1 with a 3-pointer. 3:42, a lot of time. Road down the lane, a lot of bumping going on. Throws it up and in.
Oh,
and
wow.
he will get the soup.
Wow.
And the sandwich.
Good play. But they're not going to count the basket.
Oh, that's got to count, doesn't it?
I think they took the soup and sandwich.
They already put it up on the board. They already put the basket on the board.
Yeah, that's great. The scorekeeper said, hey, it's got to be good.
Yeah,
but
the buzzing. What's going on here? Thought the basket counted.
Wow.
Yeah, they already put the points up on the board. I don't know how you don't count that basket.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
He was going to the basket. It released from his hand, and then they called a foul. Unless they called a foul on the floor before the shot.
Well, that's what they must have obviously done, but it didn't look like it from here. So tough break for LCA, but you just got to play through it. It's part of the deal.
Well, we'll have to settle for a salad. Because there won't be a soup and a sandwich. Maybe we'll get one later, Greg.
Absolutely.
Road dough. I mean, we get to watch this kid for 4 more years after this one. He's going to be a special player.
Really, really is.
Nybert open from 3. Back of the rim. No, rebounded by Matt Rose. Another opportunity here for the Eagles.
Nybert's a great 3-point shooter. I thought that was going to be
I did too. When it left his hand, I thought it was going to be a swish, and so did Benton. Ball knocked away, and there's on the floor Kyle Road, and Newcat taps it out, and it's going to be picked up there. Let's see what the call is here. They're going to get a timeout for NCC. So NCC will get the timeout with 3:08 to go. But back down to that, boy, how big would that be? They didn't count the basket after it looked like it would have counted in a foul. That would have cut it down to 2, maybe 1. Instead, New Catholic looks like they're going to get the ball here, a chance to extend their 4-point lead. That is a huge no call there for that win against LCA.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Then on the other end with the turnover there, it happened. Kyle Road, only an 8th grader, but you got to come a little bit stronger to the ball, and the pass is there, and he's going to learn that when he sees it on film, but got to come stronger, allow the older player, Wire, to get in there, get a deflection and get a steal, and then a turnover on the alternate possession.
And you and I talked about what a great defender Ben Wire is. I mean, he is a difference maker on the defensive side. McDonald is a big guy, but Wire is the kid that can flat play the defense on you with that size.
Yeah, he's definitely a big-time player on the defensive end.
Pangallo has got 18 points. Most of that in the first half. He had 14 at halftime, only a couple buckets here, but still under 3 minutes to play, 49-45. Breads by 4. They've got the ball in the blue. LCA in the white. Gary Ball with Greg Horn and William Warfield. We've enjoyed bringing this. It's been a good one. Pangallo into the paint. And there's going to be a reaching foul called on Kyle Road.
Well, one of the things, Nate Valentine made a great adjustment, though, because Pangala is 6'1". He was taking Stein and Drew shot to the basket, and they couldn't stop him, so he put the 6'4" Kyle Rode on him.
Why not?
So he slowed his penetration down.
Why not? That's a good call. Pangalo into the paint. Comes over now to John Ludwig. First time we've seen Ludwig. McDonald turns around, sees an opening. Now kicks it back out to Wire.
Really nice recovery there by McDonald. Most guys, the big guys, would have turned that over, but he regrouped, kicked the ball back out.
Obviously, Newport Central Catholic's wanting to run some clock, or almost a turnover there by Pangalo, but he got rid of the ball just as soon as he almost turned it over. Down to 2:12 to play.
They're going to make LCA play some defense, but that's good.
Mavis, that shot won't go. King got a hand on it, but it goes right back to Mavis. Pangalo way out front. Approaching the 2-minute mark now. 49-45. Newcap before. Pangalo to the basket, and he throws it up, draws the foul. Trimble was there, but I don't think it went on King. Let's wait and see the official calls that on. He's going to call it on Nybert. First one on Nybert, and that will send Zach Pangalo, 6'1" senior, 11-point average, but he's got 18 in this one. 81% free throw shooter at the line for Newport Central Catholic.
Really been impressed by this young man tonight, and I think he's the difference in the game right now.
And you and I talked about it in the pregame. We said that the key tonight was going to have to try to slow down Zach Pangalo. And they've done it here in the second half. They've held him to 5 points, but he had 14 and now 6 here in the second half. 20 points now for Pangalo. 51-45, 2-possession ball game. Minute 50 to play. Rode, strong move to the basket, right side, put it in. Tough move there by Kyle Rode.
Once again, another great thing by Nate Valentine. He's realized that 6'4" Rode can take Pangola to the basket, and he's doing that.
With the basketball, Mavis kicks it over to McDonald, and Pangalo now with it way out top. Kicks it over to Mavis. Mavis lines it up over Nybert off the iron. Big rebound by Matt Rose. Came flying through and struck that big 6'7" left mid up there and pulled it down. Here's a timeout by Nate Valentine and the Eagles with a minute 16 to go. They've got the ball. A three-pointer would cut it down to 1. It's 51-47. And Greg Horn, you said it best. There's none better than Nate Valentine have drawn up a play out of a timeout. Let's see what they have for us on this one.
Well, this is one of the things the LCA does as well. I'm convinced, as there may be other teams, but they treat this program like it's a collegiate team. Nate Valentine has a college coaching background. Their pregame scouting report, I was fortunate enough to be in the locker room and get to see that tonight. And that what they said was, we're not going to let certain guys beat us. Right there, Seth Freppin, who, he had wide open look. But the scouting report, they said, he's not even averaging a point a game, so we're going to leave you wide open.
Yeah.
And so it winds up that he winds up having to take a shot. He doesn't make it, of course. LCA gets it. But the scouting report, I don't think a lot of people realize. They think, it's just high school basketball. They just roll the balls out and play. But the attention to detail, he's got a big-time coaching staff with Jason May, who's assistant coach at Georgetown College, and he did the scouting for this game. Michael Menifee, and then Ted Hall, who was a former head coach at Sayre.
Right.
And they are very detailed in their pregame scouting reports.
Ted Hall, of course, he's got to be loving this. For so many years, he tried to bring Sayre to this All-A Classic. Here he is coaching the LCA now as assistant, and he's in the Final Four of the All-A Classic. And, Ted Hall's got to be loving life right now.
No doubt about it.
51-47. Let's see if the Eagles can knock down. Lob back door. Rose can't grab it, but Trimble's got it. Trimble down the lane. Throws it up. It rolls off. And it would have counted. And the crowd was just ready to erupt as that rolled in for Trimble, but he'll go to the line and shoot a couple. And Greg, with a minute 13 to go, this could be a 2-point ball game. Mr. Trimble, who's a good free throw shooter, will knock down these 2 free throws.
Thought Nate Valentine, the little dance down the sideline, was going to make that ball go in. So
Trimble now with 14 points in the ball game on my sheet. How many rebounds over there for Mr. T?
They're only showing 4, so I think they've missed about 4.
I was thinking a few more than that myself, but Trimble and in and out, rebounded by Big McDonald.
Well, Drew's an 80% free throw shooter, so a little surprised to see that, but that's okay. Let's get it back.
1-possession ball game, and we're going to have a timeout called by Newport Central Catholic with 1:04 to go, 51-48. They lead by 3 here at the Frankfort Convention Center here in Frankfort. Beautiful basketball facility. I think one of the best basketball facilities in the area, Greg, no doubt about it, right here at the Frankfort Convention Center.
I agree with you. William and I were talking about this yesterday, saying this is great for Frankfort, but wish that Lexington maybe had some about this size. We've got lots of big, nice arenas there, of course, with Rupp and Memorial Coliseum, but this is a great mid-size arena, and so they've done an outstanding job hosting it here. But
look at this crowd in here. I mean, below us is pretty much capacity around here. There's some empty seats in the end zones, but below us, this bowl over here, pretty full here at the Frankfort Convention Center. Really nice crowd in here. Coming up, it'll be Monroe County. They will battle Owen County. A lot to be decided in this one. Still a one-possession ball game, 51-48. And, Greg, what has LCA done, in your opinion, to battle back and get back in this thing?
I think adjustments that Coach Nate Valentine's done when he switched out and put the 6'4" Matt Rode on Pangola made a big difference. And then Drew Trimble just stepped up and said, you know what, I'm not going to be denied.
Yep. He has got 9 points here. Rode has played strong with, I show him a 9. And that's taken away that soup and a sandwich opportunity a while ago. That otherwise this game could be tied. I thought that basket should have counted.
I agree.
Anderson to Mavis to McDonald. Wide open Wire. Finally Trimble finds him. Wire shovels it back over the right side. And now they're going to bring it back out. Pangalo's got it.
Eric Anderson only averaging 2 points a game. He was too nervous to try to finish there, so he brings it back out.
Pangalo, and he's going to be fouled. 43 seconds to go. Rode picked up his 4th. That will send Pangalo to the line, and it will be the bonus. It is not a double bonus situation yet. Only 18 fouls. Look at this. NCC's only committed 14 fouls here, so they got a couple to give. Pangalo knocks it down. 21 now for Pangalo. That's 10 above his average of 11.
I'm sure that's who Nate Valentine wanted foul, but that's part of the deal. So
missed that one. A nice rebound by King. Trey King, big sophomore. Here comes Rode. Cal wanted to give it over to Rose, but now he's going to give it over to Matt left side.
Rose time.
Stops and pops from 3. Got it! We've got a 1-point ball game. 52-51, folks. That's a big-time shot there by Matt Rose. 14 for the big fella.
Well, it is. It's Matt Rose time. I said it right before it went out of his hands, but, I mean, he's preseason 11th Region Player of the Year, and he showed why right there.
And him and Darius Williams will be battling all year for that region scoring crown. I think Williams averaging 24, and Matt Rose right at about, 23 and a half coming into this one. So right there, but that's a big-time shot there by Matt Rose. Don't you think that he doesn't remember last year what this Brett's team did to him? And Matt Rose, that was a dagger right there. I mean, 52-51, Greg, and there's still 30 seconds. There's a lot of time left in this high school basketball game. 30 seconds is a long time.
It most certainly is. Matt Rose, big-time players make big-time shots, and Matt Rose is not scared to take a big-time shot.
That's a very good point. He's like Aaron Harrison. He wants that big shot. That was almost from the spot Aaron Harrison likes to shoot it, too, that left elbow.
Yeah, Matt Rose, I think you'll see him finish strong here in this last 30 seconds. Big-time player.
Big-time shot there. Let's see what they do here. They don't want to foul Pangalo. Here's a lob. It goes
foul Anderson. He's only
and
61.
That's what Nybert's going to do. As soon as the 61% free throw shooter got the ball, Benton Nyber ran over there and fouled him immediately.
Great coaching staff. I know I keep saying it, but people just don't realize that.
And remember, it's 1+1. I mean, that's only 19 fouls, so the next foul would put him at, so he's got to hit the front end to get another one. 52-51 ball game. This is going to be a barn burner, I'm telling you. It already is. 25 seconds. Let's see what the young man can do at the line. Anderson. Free throws up. Missed it. And hustling down is McDonald. And McDonald, let's see what the call is here. I think they're going to, McDonald hustled down for it and got a good job there by McDonald. He's fouled. So they're going to, after the miss, you can't really say that it's just a long rebound that McDonald was able to track down. Rose was there, but McDonald just beat him to the ball. That's one of those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, LCA did a great job. They got the foul. They wanted Eric Anderson. And unfortunately, that young man struggles at 61% free throw shooting. He missed it, but just tough one.
Greg, the foul was on King, by the way, and that's his 5th. He's out of the ball game.
Trey King, outstanding game tonight. 7 points.
Super game. Off the bench.
They're only showing him with 1 rebound. I'm not sure who's doing rebounds tonight, but
I think he had more than one rebound.
Yeah, I'd say he had at least 4 or 5.
At least. I've seen it. I've seen more than one. I'll say that.
But Trey King was the difference maker. I think the first half that he was the difference, actually.
And this is the double bonus, so McDonald will shoot 2. 52-51, and he knocks down the first one. 22-point, folks, there's a lot of time left, 22.5 seconds with the three-point shooters that LCA has. They got Davis in there, too. He can knock down the 3. 53-51. McDonald's free throw got them both. Those were huge. He now has 13. So LCA and Rhodes going to get it across the line and call a quick timeout with 19.4 seconds to go in regulation. And we saw Matt Rose nail a big 3 a while ago to cut it to 1. Is there another big 3 in one of the Eagles to tie it up here with 19.4 seconds? And what do you do here, Mr. Horn? Do you make sure that NCC, do you take the last second 3 to tie it up, maybe send it to overtime? You don't want to give Newport Catholic time to go down and score if you should knock down a 3.
We got 30 seconds left, is that right? About
22.
That? 22 seconds. Well, one of the things you can do, especially with a Matt Rose, I think I would clear out and let him go to the basket and go one-on-one and let him shoot and score. He could possibly get fouled on a drive to the basket, get a three-point play the old-fashioned way. You can still foul and get a second shot again. I don't think I go for a 3 this early. You know, you get less than 10 seconds and maybe you look at a 3. But right now, with this much time on the clock, I would clear out and let Matt Rose go one-on-one, go to the basket, see if he can draw a foul and get a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
But I would not dislike at all if Benton Nybert gets a good look at a 3, Joe Davis gets a good look at a 3, and even we saw Trimble knock down that 3 at the top of the circle to start the ball game. So there's a lot of guys out there that can knock down a 3.
Well, absolutely. With the penetration by Matt Rose, it'll create an open 3 for somebody, and he may penetrate and kick it to somebody, and that would be a very good possibility.
Davis bounces the road, down to 18 seconds. Kyle, right side, and he's going to be bumped, but that's only the 15th foul. Remember, NCC, they've got a couple more to give now. That's their 15th foul. 54-51. 16.9 seconds. Eagles need a 3 to tie. They've got a bunch of three-point shooters out there.
That Rose needs to touch it this time.
Rose has got it. Matt lost it. Picked up there. They lead it out now to Wire, and Wire lost control of it. And let's see, we're going to have a foul called with 11.9 seconds. And LCA just didn't get an opportunity. Tried to get it to Rose in the corner, but Newport Central Catholic came up with the strip over there. And that will send to the line Ben Wire. He's a good free throw shooter. What, 80%?
Very, very good free throw shooter.
He's got 2 of them, and he knocks it down. This one would be huge. That one puts him up 4 with 11.9, and this one would put him up, of course, by 5, 11.9 seconds. Wire's second one, and he missed it. And Rose grabs it, falls to the ground, gives it up to Rode. They got to get a shot off here. Rode knows that. Stops a long 3 off the mark. I thought it was good in as it left his hand. Pengallo's got it with 2.8. And Newport Catholic may escape. And looks like one of their big fellas is down, and McDonald is down, and he's shaking up.
Yeah.
He's injured. They're going to have to help him up. Yeah, he's turned his ankle. He's going to head to the sideline. Turned it. It doesn't look good, does it, Greg?
No, I hope it's not his knee. I hope it's just an ankle. I mean, if it's an ankle, then he's walking on it, but can't tell if it's a knee or the ankle.
Turners will be working on that big fella. Long pass to Pengallo. He's got it, and looks like Newport Central Catholic. They're going to escape. What a great ball game. A lot of heart by LCA. Comes up a little bit short, 55-51, but great effort by Nate Valentine's Eagles. They came in there and gave this highly touted Newport Central Catholic team everything they wanted after falling to them by 30-plus points last year. They take it down to the wire, 55-51. Great game. NCC moves on to the championship.
No doubt about it. They have nothing to hang their head about. Newport Catholic came into this game averaging 74 points a game. LCA holds them to 55. Newport Central does what they do. They get on top of people. They haven't lost a game by less than 30 points. 3-0, that's right, 30 points in this All-A Classic, and to only lose by 4. I know that Nate Valentine is not interested in moral victories, but Newport Central was right there on the edge, and we got the old soup and sandwich special call there, as you said, on Kyle Road. Never know what would have happened.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't count that basket, to be quite honest with you. I mean, he was going to the basket. He laid it in, unless they said the foul was on the floor before the shot, but it sure looked like it should have been a and one from up here. But that's the way it goes. 55-51. NCC moves on to the championship, and they'll have an opportunity to do something that nobody's done, win 3 consecutive All-A tournaments in the finals tomorrow night against either Monroe or Owen County. University Heights won back-to-back. Of course, NCC's won it 2 years in a row, trying to win it for the 3rd consecutive year.
Well, they're really, really impressive. I got to see their game last night against Elliott County, and like I said, they've won every game, the All-A, by 30 points, so this is the first time they've even had a game, so whoever plays them tomorrow night, they're going to have their hands full.
And, of course, they're wondering about Drew McDonald, their big fella, because he's still pretty gimpy on that ankle. And 55-51 is your final here from the Frankfort Convention Center. Great working with you tonight, Greg, and also William Moorfield. Good job. And
yeah, William Moorfield, we really appreciate him making this happen. A lot of people got to watch this. I know people are checking in from all over the country. Why don't you go through there what you got with the final stats, and I'll share the team stats, Gary.
Yeah, the big story tonight was Zach Pengallo. We thought he would be a big storyline in this game, and he was. He had 21 points tonight on my sheet, 14 in the first half. Mavis had 8 points. Anderson hit a 3 in the second half. Wire had 10 points, and McDonald with 13, and that's for NCC 55-51. And looking at LCA tonight, they got 14 out of Drew Trimble, 2 from Shock. They got 14 out of Matt Rose, and then they got 13 out of Kyle Road, 3 from Benton Nybert, and 7. I thought Trey King was huge tonight with 7 points. Total of 51 tonight, 55-51. NCC wins it. LCA, of course, making the Final Four for the 2nd consecutive year here at the All-A Classic. And you got some final numbers there from the other parts of the game.
Yes, sir. Looking at the team-wise, for Newport Central, they shot 45% for the game. LCA shot 47%. 3-point range, Newport Central only 29%, LCA 33%. From the free throw line, Newport Central, they're the 8th leading free throw shooting team in the state, and so they normally shoot the free throws really well, but they only shot 67% today. LCA a little bit below their average of 80% at 75, but still shot it really well. As far as turnover points, this might be the difference in the game here. Gary, Newport Central had 13 points off of LCA turnovers. LCA only 3 off Newport Central. Newport Central doesn't turn it over very much, and they proved it again today by only giving LCA 3 points off turnovers. Second chance points, Newport Central had 2. LCA had 7. Off the bench, big spark by Trey King. As you mentioned, LCA outscored Newport Central 9-0 from the bench. Turnovers, Newport Central 5, LCA 7. Majority of those came in the first half, though, after LCA really settled down. Hardly turned it over at all in the second half. Steals, says Newport Central had 5, LCA says 0. I don't know that I agree with that, but overall, just a great game, Gary. The statistics aside, a great game. Newport Central, I got to believe they were sweating it out there a little bit when they got 49-45, and they didn't give the 3-point play to Kyle Rose.
Yeah, and Matt Rose hit that huge 3 to cut it to 1 point, and then the free throw shooting, the difference, Pengallo knocking down and of course, Wire and McDonald also hitting big free throws down the stretch for Newport Central Catholic. Great high school basketball game, 55-51. Great effort by LCA. You can bet they'll be a big factor when the 43rd District rolls around in Lexington come February 23rd. LCA in there with Lexington Catholic and Tates Creek, Dunbar, and Lafayette. That will be a terrific 43rd District tournament this year that will be played at Lexington Tates Creek. So still a lot of basketball to look forward to if you're an LCA fan. There's still a lot of basketball. I mean, they still got a good shot. They're one of the favorites to win the 11th region along with Lexington Catholic. You got to throw Henry Clay, Bryan Station, Madison Central, teams like that. Who am I forgetting, Greg? But Lafayette maybe?
Yeah, Lafayette's had a good game time. Speaking of Lafayette, that's who LCA will play next. They play them on February 6th. It'll actually be at Lafayette at 8 p.m., so that'll be this Friday night. So LCA off to them needs a much-deserved break, but we also want to thank all our sponsors, especially thank the Rose family tonight for sponsoring tonight's broadcast, and for Robbie Davis sponsoring the first 2 games here in the LCA tournament. The All-A Classic that LCA played in.
Right, the All-A Classic. Touchstone Energy's the corporate partner. I think they're actually looking for a new corporate partner with the All-A Classic. Touchstone Energy sponsored it for 20 years, I believe it was, they said. So,
wow.
Title sponsor. So, but anyway, if you're interested, just give the folks at the All-A Classic or go on their website, check it out. So, the Touchstone Energy Classic, and it was a classic tonight. Newport Central Catholic 55, LCA 51. Great working with you, Greg Horn. good luck with you and all your radio travels with I believe it's WJMM.
Yeah, 99.1 FM for the LCA Eagles. And then Monday through Friday on AM 1250, I have a show called Sports Talk. We just catch up on the daily sports of UK, high school, national level stuff, whatever's hot at the time. So tune in, AM 1250, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m.
And you can check me out Sunday mornings, 9 to 11 on WVOK 590 with Sports Talk, and also high school or Rafferty's high school basketball game of the week on Friday nights. And also we have the tournament action. Coach Justin Cheatham with me for all that action. Again, for Greg Horn and for William Warfield, this is Gary Ball from the Frankfort Convention Center. Newport Central Catholic, the defending All-A Classic champion, 55, LCA 51. That's our final here tonight from the Convention Center, and we will not have the championship tomorrow. If LCA was in it, we were going to broadcast it for you, but great semifinal game here tonight, Greg, and as you said, great effort. I thought a lot of people really stepped up tonight. Rhodes stepped up in that second half. Trey King stepped up off the bench, and I thought you brought up a really good number there, the bench of LCA 9-0. So Newport Central Catholic, they've got a good starting lineup, but they're not real deep, are they? So that's going to be a concern for them, I'm sure, as they get into the 9th region tournament with great teams like Covington Catholic, Covington Holmes, and all those teams up there.
Oh, no doubt about it. Pengallo played
out of his mind.
Yeah, out of his mind was the term I wanted to use. I thought, can I say that on a high school broadcast? But he did play out of his mind. 21 points, only averaged 11. But they don't really have a lot of depth, and when he had to go out of the game, it really hurt. Whereas LCA has two point guards, and Drew Schott and John Stein.
Well, again, we want to thank William Warfield and all the family folks who made this broadcast possible. For William Warfield and for Greg Horn, this is Gary Ball. Thanks for watching the All-A Classic 55-51, the victory tonight for Newport Central Catholic. Great tournament by LCA.